All right, let's crack into some Bitcoin stuff. Let's get going. Top of the morning, everybody. Did okay on some longs yesterday. Okay. All right. Clean it up per usual. Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. So obviously we wiped that high out. That doesn't belong on our chart anymore. Nor do we need an alert there. We were monitoring for a market shift out of this area. I do see one. We get rid of this line. It's not adding to the story at all. Clip highs, break lows. So this supply here has created additional supply here. Rev. Now market just open. Here's what I'd like to see generally in market open. I want to see price come. See, it's not doing what I want it to do. I want to see price coming up. See price coming up. See if we can catch a short down low, man. Let you go down first, homie. But that's right. It's fine. Go down first, and maybe we can come up for some air. Suppose we kick that one down the line. Maybe we should leave this on here. I think we should delete this thing. That's just annoying. All right, things look a little better now. Things look a little less dusty. Let's get into some smaller time frames. Take a look how the market is opening its stuff today. Unbelievable Bitcoin. Well, I'm going to apply the same logic I apply every day, which is market open and fell over, which indicates to me that it is, hunting for some manner of orders down here to come up and rotate above New York high. Now, whether it significantly clears above New York high and actually does something like this, all that's yet to be seen. I'm just saying it's coming, so far it's coming down before up, which typically, and dude, come on, you're so lazy sometimes. You couldn't take out that low? What kind of structure break are we dealing with up there? 30, yeah. 1 hour, yeah, probably 30 to 1 hour. Yeah, I mean, man, at this point, I just feel like what makes the most sense. I'm not going to, I'm not going to give you the old like bearish bias today. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. What I'm going to tell you instead is we still have this range here in which we ran out of buyers here. As buyers stepped back in, they still were not enough. And so it is oh so logical to go hunt more orders down here or below here, because the ones from here couldn't make it happen. And as they attempted this, they couldn't make it happen. And as they attempted this, they couldn't make it happen. So it's obvious that the buyers to break this high don't exist between here and here. So far, I mean, obviously they can show up any moment. They could show up right this second. But it just I said it before and I'll say it again. For bullish price action, for price action that breaks significantly above 82,811, I believe that we need reaccumulation in this area. We need reaccumulation in this area in the form of this big, longer, extended range that I've been referring to for a while. Might take these lows down here more than once, might even nip into a little bit more demand on the second dive. But yeah, for bullish price action, I'm going to need to see it come down there again, probably down there again. And then I think we could work above 82,811. Until then, I'm going to be paying very close attention to see if we significantly break this low, because that's daily market structure. I'll be looking for a manipulation event below the low for a bullish expansion back through the range. And it just makes so much more sense to me that we would visit areas on the chart like these before ever visiting an area on the chart like this section up here. That's just what makes way more sense to me. Let me say good morning to some peoples. Good morning, Shanti25 and J Takaoka01 and Josh Parr. Morning, crew. So because, I mean, right, like obviously this low right here that I've marked in the green line could break. But I think what makes far more sense is that we see volume step in here, perform some funny business to take us above New York high. I think if the intended move is lower down into these areas like Monday's low or the daily strong low, that the logical way to get there will be to remove some of this topside liquidity or test supply. That's what I think. But you know, it's trying to make me look dumb right now anyway, so yeah, I mean, you know, hey, obviously it can just continue to go down, but in all reality, that's the fact that it did not remove this liquidity up here on market open prior to starting to interact with. We've now hit Monday's. No, that's not Monday's low. Is that Monday's low? I had Monday's low labeled, right? No, that's Monday's low. Well, we hit yesterday New York's low, so we at least rotated like the daily, whatever, session to session, right? The fact that it didn't remove any of this stuff on open prior to coming down through these makes me more bullish, if anything. I remain bullish until we can break our daily strong low at 74,900. I don't have any choice, but yeah, I mean, it'd be crazy to be. That'd be crazy. Now, you know, I mean, like, as much as I say I remain bullish until we break that, it does not mean that I'm not going to be bearish when we get back up into areas like that. I will definitely be bearish up there. Let's see what else we got out here that we can take a peek at. I don't think there's much I can do about here. I'm going to set an alert on this, see if we can get a retest into supply. Maybe a little scalpy runes. You know what I mean? Like let me be specific, a lower high for a lower low kind of situation. See what happens with that. But I'm only touching it if we can get a retest, so works for me. It's been a pretty calm week. It's actually been pretty relaxing because I haven't traded much. And Tether is trying to tell us things still. It's still trying to tell us things. It's still trying to tell us about this range that I keep harping about. And it's still trying to tell us that that it is setting higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. High is weak, Low is strong. It already broke structure to the upside on the 30-minute. Same way as Bitcoin obviously broke structure downside on the 30-minute, right? So Tether agrees with my thesis on Bitcoin that the orders are north of us still. That looks kind of cool, but make it all stop. Yeah, there's no resistance on Tether, and we have a touch of support on Bitcoin. What am I looking at? I'm looking at a 1 minute time frame on that. We don't have that on Tether? Where'd my Tether chart go? Why did it disappear? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And why do these bubbles keep showing up? Stop with the bubbles, man. Stop with the bubbles, man. Oh, that would be this section of price here. But that's interesting because Bitcoin's like sitting on top of that right now. Bitcoin's sitting in that right now, and Tether hasn't even touched it yet. Anyways, yappity yap yap. Whatever happened with Ondo? Not much, huh? Just ranging up there. You pour some supply here. And has been lower lows and lower highs since touching supply. Oh, I'm sorry, just lower highs. Has not been another lower low yet, but yeah, if that mitigation couldn't take us above this high, then I would say, and this couldn't bring us above this high before tackling this low, then I would say likely some downside on that. Let me know what you guys want to look at per the usuals. Per the usuals, let me know what you want to look at. I'm going to just continue to yap. I'm going to continue to yap. Where's my daily low on the ETH chart? Didn't. Oh, it's clean down here. Okay. Let me pencil out a range on ETH real quick so I don't have to remember this for later. ETH's range is significantly different than Bitcoin's range. Can I make these like bold or something? How does that work? How does that work? Is it on this little thing? There we go. Cool. What's the situation over on the Solanas? I think we'll take a look at Dash today too. Yeah, that short just be Coco looking still. Okay. Let's get a little closer. What is this? Why does this continue to turn on in every one of my charts? Oh, that's so rude. That's so rude that it couldn't pull that low. It pulled the high that created it, though. Have some supply here, but outside of filling this high right here, I don't know if it's useful supply, because you have to break the same structure that bearishly formed out of it in order to mitigate it. You may have to break some structure bullishly, so that would be a caution. It should be like one of those kind of things if it is going to do it. It is in demand too. I need to be aware of that. Hype and deep, we'll hop over to those in uno momento, my man. I heard jingle bells. What are we jingle belling? Alright, I want to work an alert on this this 1 minute high because that's going to represent the first bullish structure break since market open. And if my theory remains that we have remaining topside liquidity in this area, that the market didn't take on open, then I think I'm going to be paying attention to that. Anyways, let's do hype and deep. Let's do hype and deep. Deep, 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 deep. No, I don't have deep on here. I gotta search for deep. Oh, it's a spot chart. I don't want a spot chart. Unless that's all it is spot, right? USDT.P. This is what I'm looking for. All right, let's remind ourselves of our higher time frame structure here. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, range. Let's drop down on the daily. These absorption bubbles just won't fucking stop with me today. Let's see what we have on the daily. It's not a particularly good low. This looks like order block here. This looks like a, let's see, yeah, we're going to have to investigate a little bit closer there. I am currently, no, I need to be on a lower time frame. All right, so on your 4 hour, you break your 4 hour market structure here. Okay. Cool. That was the bearish break. Did we receive a bullish break? We did. Did this low come from demand? It did. Okay, let's drop to the 15. Good. Let me go back to that. I'm taking note of the bearish volume that was in this candle right here. Take note of that real quick. I think it needed a slightly deeper dive below that low. Bro, why can't you let me draw a line? It's fucking rude. It's so rude. Anyways, something like that would be a little bit more believable here for me. What's Bitcoin doing? Nothing yet. Do we clip this low? We did clip this low. So massive short volume hits the low, doesn't break it. Consolidates, pulls late shorts, comes back down, can't find, yeah, I think if you can start breaking up out of this range right here, without manipulating above it. Because I'm still cautious. I say manipulate above it because I think for deep to make it up to something like that, then Bitcoin has to be up here, which could be a bearish shine for a lower low. So I think we need to be careful about any sort of manipulation here, especially because we didn't. I have to question whether we purged the liquidity here. Those might better be represented as equal lows, which are, not good. So I need this Chingaderas because I want to be looking for a manipulation event here. Inside of this section of price. And if it doesn't end up manipulating here and coming kind of directly back down into the range, and if it instead actually breaks up out of here and kind of comes back down, a retest long might not be a bad idea there. I would think I would, let's see, that looks like it's been mitigated. Okay, it's probably still caution this area, but due to the mitigation on, I don't know if I'd worry about it too much. I would ultimately be targeting that in the event that we can truly break up out of this range. Outside of that, as far as a short goes, I think the short would need to exist right here, or else you're starting to look pretty bullish. If you don't reject here, yeah, you're starting to look pretty bullish, and I think you should be looking at longs. Does that mean Bitcoin's going to give us a long? Sure looks like it is, huh? Buy it. Buy it. I'm just joking. What else are we doing? Hype. Hype. Okay, hype's at a major target. Its approach to it is incredibly bullish. This has hit a point on a chart where I can no longer trade it. For the same reasons, it's always the same reasons when I can't trade something. It is a fool's game to long here. That is a fool's game. And I see no bearish structure that can justify a short. So this is a nothing burger, man. You can't. I think you have to wait to see what develops on this. The only thing that I would currently be interested on hype is in the event that we were to come down and break this low. Bro, can I pick the correct drawing tool? And if we can't do that, I don't know, man. I would, the only other way I could trade this at this point is you need to show me, what's the time frame I need? Let's stick with the fucking daily, apparently. Okay. Let's go to the weekly. Jesus. The only way I can trade this is I need to see that it, come on, can I draw a straight line? I need to see that it can make a clear initiation, and then it's still a big fat waiting game as it comes back down for any sort of mitigation prior to continuation. So I may not be able to trade hype for a long time unless it is going to fail this high here and start breaking structure. Then I can start shorting it, but it's in an absolute no touch zone as far as I'm concerned. It is in a no touch zone. I'll take an alert here, and I can't do anything else with it. I unfortunately could not do a damn other thing with that. Afternoon, Jason. It's a decent long, but unfortunately I never set an alert here, and so I was too late to it. Happens to the best of us, man. Yeah, I was busy yapping. I missed it too. But that's okay, right? Like we may just sit here and I mean, here's another way to look at this, right? Like I still don't stop with these absorption things. I still think it's laughable that New York didn't remove any sell-side liquidity prior to the drop, but we did form supply here, right? And our larger structure at play is still, whatever, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So it still gets a whole lot more believable above here. And what do we have above that? More supply, right? So I would personally much rather be involved out of a short, or be involved in a short down to Monday's low and the daily low. I'd still much rather be involved in that because I still think that makes the most sense. Don't know if we're going to get it, but I think it makes the most sense. For bullish price action. Again, that is for bullish price action. I think for... But why does my chart keep looking so goddamn terrible? I think for bullish price action, forming a more extended range here is what makes more sense. Just a little scalpy cheese. Little scalpy cheesies. Little cheese with my scalp. I'll have a scalp with cheese, please. All right, Deep, talk to us, buddy. Talk to us. So it's a very aggressive run through that liquidity. Ka-chow. I mean, this is an event for sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might be a long there, but I don't know. I'm a little gun shy to be longing right here. And I don't know if I've ever traded Deep before, so I don't really have any stats on it. Yeah, see, I think if I were to trade this, I think I'd rather take the scalp maneuver on this and put the SL here and target 3 Rs and be ready to run at any given point in time. I think I'd rather approach it that way than this way. Because if I approach it this way, then my 3 Rs are 1.5 miles away. They're 1.5 miles away. How funny would it be if that low took us all the way up to the top of the range? It'd be fucking hilarious. Oh well. Oh well, y'all. Oh well. Ah, you fucking asshole. Yeah, I think Palantir wants mow up here. Mow up. What's up with gold and silver, man? Can I trade gold and silver again yet? Looks like that's a no. Yeah, go away. Yes, all of you, get out of my face. Yeah, gold looks like it could be a long hair.
Hit me in my DM, don't at me. You can ride with my baggage in the back seat. Count my money while them boys roll me fatties. We them hot girls, baddies. Baddies, baddies,
It's not funny, huh? Yeah, it's not funny, but I can see it doing that either. That's okay though. If it is going to do that, it's going to provide more opportunities, right? We had a transition of like 1 minute structure down here inside of demand. But if we really start transitioning other structure, we've got other opportunities. So, yeah, especially if you see it come into supply, draw back into demand, and then form a low in demand, it's like, cool, well, you just mitigated your supply, and you're now showing that demand is still in control. So, there's other opportunities. Of course, me and Jason's luck, we won't be available when that happens either, but... Come on, bro. Get above market open. Don't do this to me. It's a bearish retest of orb or something? I imagine we can see... No, 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 it's not. Duh, because market open was there, so no, it's not. No, if we if our 1 minute is still bullish and flips to bearish, then as far as I'm concerned, this information has just gotten overridden by this information. And then we would come back for that low. We're definitely showing more topside wicks in this area. Soul so far just a wick into supply, no breaking of structures, just a wick. If anybody can tell me who was sampled on this song, like the lyrics, I'd be so impressed. How do you, I guess, prioritize? There's so much to consider, hard to figure out what stands out above something else. You know, Jason, I apologize if... okay, let me do my best to answer that question, right? Let me do my best to answer that question. It's a great question, and I don't want to give you a lazy answer. In my opinion, in my opinion, the best trades, the places that make the most sense for a large liquidity event are still here and here, okay? So the moment I go in between those, my confidence is already dropped. Come on chart. So when we start getting inside of it, then I have to go, okay, so we broke 4-hour structure here, okay? So that's further information, in my opinion, that we should be touching this before ever really even filling this zone in. We should be touching this, right? So I go, okay, so I'm less confident inside of these areas than I would be long here or short here. I'm more confident there. So if I'm looking at the interior of this, I'm recognizing that we broke 4-hour structure and we've set lower high, lower low, right? And so I go, okay, all right, fair. So now I have to trade internally to these two, right? Now I have to trade internal to this and this, okay? And I go, all right, okay, fair. Look left, what is left telling me? Left is telling me there's a 4-hour break of structure and lower is the more appropriate target. So if every time I step back into another smaller range, I lose a touch of confidence. And now if I analyze this range of price here, I see that price, whatever, was basically consolidating here, made a run at the high, achieved premium of the range. Oh, I drew it backwards. Shame on me. Achieved premium of the range, right? And so if you're in a 4-hour downtrend, what are you expecting? lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So I'll get off of here. So if we hit the premium of the range and then we broke 30-minute structure, then that tells me that this high might stay. We have a low. If this high is to stay, then we should be looking for a lower high for a lower low. And so again, every time I go inside of another smaller range, inside of a range like a Russian doll effect, I have to drop my confidence level. Because essentially you're just dealing with, not every time you have to condense your range down smaller and smaller, you're still looking at decisions that have been made on the chart, but they weren't as strong and convicted of decisions. Right, these decisions lacked the same conviction. So I can't have as much conviction about him because the market participants didn't have as much conviction about him, right? So it's like the same way that, I see this little break here. It's like, okay, some conviction was made there, but so far it wasn't enough to clear the high at whatever this is, 77,300 or something like that. So every time I go inside, again, every time I take that Russian doll effect, I'm going in, I'm reading information, but all of that information lacks the same conviction as the higher time frames because it took more market participation, more liquidity to create the larger time frame structure. And so, yeah, I just try and reduce my confidence. And sometimes, you get stuck in these areas. When you're trading, you get stuck in these areas that are just purely not as attractive to trade. You know what I mean? And that's what happens. Cash is a position, right? And cash is sometimes the best position that you can have. Yeah. So, like when I start, these are, as far as I'm concerned, these are all these ideas are much lower confidence than, like I'm already more confident about this and this than I am anything inside of here, right? And so if I have to drill down another level still, I have to drop my confidence still. I hope that helped. Okay. So Sol, you cleaned out London's low. You tapped demand. You cleaned out New York's high. You tapped supply, and now you want to break structure. So, like, why? If the market maker wasn't going to fill their long here to take it to a higher price, then why would price need to come back down here? Why would it need to be coming back down here? Yeah. Or was the intention to purge the liquidity, to engineer enough liquidity to rotate to the sell side, mitigate supply, draw in buyers to absorb into your short position? Things that make you go, things that make me go, This could be a fun ass short. Yeah, there was a time, I wonder if I can recreate it all. It was on Dash. I don't know if I can even recreate all of it. Yeah, it was back over here. Back in the day on Dash, I had proposed a long here. I had proposed a short here. Because that short worked, I'd proposed another long here. And then I proposed a short out of this supply up here, right? This supply right here. And they were all higher confidence plays because none of them were interior to shit, right? Can I get back? Can we get back? Can we get back? Can we get back? Right? Because this is dealing with external liquidity. This was dealing with external liquidity. This was dealing with external liquidity. This was dealing with external liquidity, and this was dealing with just major supply. So they were all more confident, in my opinion. So was this, by the way, but it didn't really get us anywhere because you can't win them all. I will say I'm gonna be heading out here pretty soon in case you guys have a bunch, unless you guys have a bunch more questions, and I'm down to stay a bit longer. But I'm gonna say this one more time because New York didn't take these highs, this high, this high, this high, prior to, you know, coming down. Like if we set another low here, this is what I'm trying to say. If we set another low out of the supply, then that left resting liquidity there, it makes me more bullish about an interaction with Monday's low or the daily strong low down there. You guys got anything else you want to look at? Is there any other questions I can answer about Bitcoin or anything like that? How can you identify if a move is just to engineer liquidity, as in avoiding getting trapped? Okay, so my number one recommendation for this is you're going to take a fib tool. You're going to go settings. You're going to create a fib tool template that looks like this, where you have 1, -25, +25, and 0. And you're going to start looking at your breakage structure through this lens. You're going to say price came down, and it came up, and it came down, and it touched this, and it came up. And you're going to wait to see if it can break this, as opposed to breaking the high. Because obviously this is a break of structure, right? This is a break of structure. So what does that do? What does that do? That draws in both algorithmic trading bots, that triggers algorithmic trading bots, and it triggers retail long positions. So because the market maker is going to need something to fill their short, you have to be careful in zones like this. That's the number one thing. This is the number one piece of advice I could give. So are you not thinking about a break of the 60K low? Yeah, I am absolutely thinking about to break the 60K low. Where's that 60K low? 60K low? Yeah, I'm absolutely thinking about it. I have no idea whether it'll break, but I'm absolutely thinking about it, yeah. Yeah, Sam Zicker hit me with it, man. Ask all the questions you got. Yeah, J Takaoka 01, to the manipulation question. I never know if there's going to be manipulation. What I know is I know where large positions need to fill. That's more obvious to me, right? Where a large position needs what it needs to. Yeah, like yeah, I'm trying to find my words here. I mean, like, yeah, it's just events like this draw in buyers. People get bullish here. I don't know. It's just, I think I've been in crypto now since like 2019, 2020, something like that. And I can tell you that people tend to buy highs. And because they tend to buy highs, that is just it's gonna provide the area for the market makers liquidity. The study session that we're going to be doing tomorrow, hopefully I can bring in some better information on this. Let me see if I can share some now. Bear with me here. I'm trying to make it work. Where do I have it in here, bro? I have so much shit in here. God, I'm trying to remember where I have it. It might take me too long to find it in here. I might still need to build it in here. I can't, guys. I can't recall. Honestly, I don't. Let me get back to this. Yeah, I mean, like it's really a combination of looking at all this. My words are failing me right now. Like I have an answer for this question, but my words are failing me. I have this line in my head. Like, for me, I have to, when I look at charts, I have to be able to make sense of it, right? This is why I don't use a fib. This is why I don't use an EMA. This is why I don't use an oscillator. Because if the candles patterns and the candlesticks are not telling me a clear story, then I have no conviction. I don't care about what any indicator says. And so if there's a zone that I'm anticipating bearish absorption and bullish absorption in, aka a trap, aka a manipulation, then it has to align with what the story of the candles is already telling. And that's what I'm kind of trying to put together over here. Let me get back to it. Is that story, right? And maybe as we start to get through some of this stuff, that story is going to make a little bit more sense. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know. Okay, BTC USD, BTC CME futures do move on its own price, vibe, and speed. Can we use any of them as guidance, price action? So here's one thing I'll tell you. Let's cover the CME futures market really quick. The CME futures market is primarily used to fund the basis trade, in which a hedge fund will go short on Bitcoin and simultaneously long on spot, and they will collect the spread. And so there's information to be had as to how they're managing the basis trade and what that tells you about the relationship to the CME futures. The CME futures market compared to something like the ETF market, right? There's a correlation to be made between those two as to what direction they're profiting their basis trade from. So yeah, there's some information there, but I'm going to be totally frank with you. I don't know if I really lean on it a ton, but there is information there. So I think there's a way to answer that question. I just don't know if I have enough time left today to do it. But let's take a look at that, because you said CME's at 77,100, right? 77,100. 77,100. Let's get a little something cooking here. Let's get the CME chart over here. Let's get IBIT next to it. Let's get them both on the daily. Oh, really, bro? This is how IBIT's going to measure? Okay, we're not going to use IBIT, then we're going to use Coinbase. Yeah, so here we have two different values, right? Here we have 76,815 on the CME futures, and we have 77,019 on Coinbase, right? So that is telling me that these are bets on the future price of Bitcoin. That's all this is, right? You open an option for, do you think this is going up or going down in the future, right? And they think it's going down. And this difference right here between 77,023 and 76,745 is powering that basis trade. That is building their spread. Well, Bitcoin is unfortunately hella boring today. It's been hella boring for 2 weeks, though. Let's be fucking totally frank about that. Some weak ass supply in here. It's not encouraging. So this was that hype trade that I was talking about, where I would rather, yeah, I mean, to me it would have made more sense to something. Anyways, doesn't matter. We didn't take it. Doesn't matter. What was I gonna say? I think I was gonna say I'm running out of time. So thanks for answering. Is 76,815 and 77,107? Oh, gotcha. I was using different tickers than you were. I'm following you now. Cool. Well, hey guys, I love you and I'm rooting for you, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. So I hope you all have a great day, and I put the wrong fucking template on there. And yeah, let's go enjoy a beautiful May 21st. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna hop into some study stuff, and yeah, stay safe until then. And listen, if anybody has like one more question, like I'm down to answer it. But if not, I'm gonna call this thing done. Rude, soul, rude. Nope. Nope. Negative. No, I think soul's going up here, man. My Google Chrome just died completely.